So, another day, another recording, and today I am in the sun. Why? Just because, and just to get in some sunlight, even though, and get a tan. But most importantly, get a tan. Because gonna look way better with a tan than without one. Unfortunately, because it takes time. I get sunburned pretty easily, or I just do get sunburned quite often then because I just don't use any sunscreen. Obviously not that healthy. But yeah, I feel good in the sun. I feel good in the heat. I don't necessarily like cold weather, which is also one of the reasons why I think about moving to some other place or country when I'm grown up. But we are gonna see that, or I am gonna see that when it is about time to think about these things. But yeah, what are we gonna go through? Maybe we're gonna go through the Enchiridion, and I do just remember to do that. Yeah, I dearly hope that my phone is not gonna turn itself off, which is very, very likely. I think that yesterday we started with 31, so I'm gonna go ahead with 32, and it is so fucking tiny. This actually is insane, like it really is tiny. Anyway, but when you have recourse to divination, remember that you know not what the event will be, and you come to learn it of the diviner. But of what nature it is, you know before you come, at least if you are a philosopher. For if it is among the things not in your own control, it can be by no means good or evil. Don't therefore bring either desire or aversion with you to the diviner, else you will approach him trembling. But first acquire a distinct knowledge that every event is indifferent and nothing to you, of whatever sort it may be, for it will be in your power to make a right use of it, and this no one can hinder. Then come with confidence to the gods as your counselors, and afterwards, when any counsel is given you, remember what counselors you have assumed and whose advice you will neglect if you disobey. Come to divination as Socrates prescribes, in case of which the whole consideration relates to the event in which no opportunities are afforded by therefore, or by reason or any other art, to discover the thing postponed to be learned. When therefore it is our duty to share the danger of a friend or of our country, we ought not to consult the oracle whether we will share it with them or not. For though the diviner should forewarn you that the victims are unfavorable, this means no more than that either death or mutilation, or exile is portended. But we have reasons within us, and it directs even these hazards to the greater diviner, the Pythian god who cast out of the temple, the person who gave no assistance to his friend while another was murdering him. 33. Well, you know what? Let's do something else. It is so tiny. It is actually a really, really, really big pain in the ass. Yeah. And I'm also thinking about getting a new phone since, I don't know, like it's been serving me quite well for the past, I guess, 5 years. I'm actually not too sure how long it's been, but yeah, maybe actually I can find something on Instagram. Let's just go for the Stoicism, or at Stoicism account, and let's see, human mastery, Taoism and Stoicism. Well, maybe we can find something great here. I don't know yet, but let's see. Response to every call that excites your spirit, by Rumi. The easier it is life, the more slavish it is. by Epictetus, indeed. The easier it is life, the more lavish it is. Whoever says you cannot develop mental toughness or anything else does not truly understand the human mind. David Goggins, as you might know David Goggins, and I gotta have to be honest, our mind is strong and way stronger than one believes, and as I, by the way, also believe, and I've been able to see and achieve, yeah, I could be way stronger, I could be way different, there is a ton of room for me to improve in many ways, physically, but mentally, tremendously mentally. My mental game is pretty horrible. It's not bad. It's not too bad. I've been able to progress, but there's still a ton of room for me to really get better and to really kind of help me be the person that I want to be, also in times of adversity and also in times of where I just, don't necessarily feel like this. But yeah, I have a single definition of success. You look in the mirror every evening and wonder if it disappoints the person you were at 18. Nassim Nicholas Taleb, one of the best authors that I've ever encountered, not personally, but in terms of his books. Really amazing, just really amazing thinker, really amazing philosopher, as I'd consider him to be. I'm 20 now, I'm going to turn 21 next year. I don't know. I don't know whom I wanted to be at 18. And then if I'm doing that, I just know that I haven't really found who I want to be and what I want to do. I really am struggling with that at a time. And treat what you do not have as non-existent. Marcus Aurelius. Which makes sense in the case of, or if you think about especially materialistic things, but also, I don't know, when it comes to happiness, for example, if you don't think that there is something like happiness, well, you are not going to be desperate and you're not going to be killing yourself for not having it, because it is just not even there, because you're not having it. So it really kind of gives a view on life that's very, that's anti-stressful, whatever the right word might be. I actually know. A brilliant heuristic to help you appease your desires and prevent them from leading your mind astray. From Marcus Aurelius. You can only fight the way you practice. Miyamoto Musashi. Yeah, if you practice in a way that's not going to be applicable in a real fight, then doesn't make too much sense. Practice should be hard. Practice should be intense, at least in my point of view. I deeply believe in that. And even though, I gotta be honest, in terms of practicing and then also in terms of learning, I've really often been just overdoing it by quite a bit. I've just really making sure and doing it in a way that kind of fits for me, which unfortunately most often is long-term stuff. Learning something is going to be long-term. It's going to be taking quite a while for me. And, yeah, that's it, A tree that is unbending is easily broken. The rigid and stiff will be broken. The flexible and yielding will overcome. By Lao Tzu. Yeah, be flexible, which I definitely am not, unfortunately. Inwardly, everything should be different, but our outward face should conform with the crowd. Seneca. Which I do understand in a way, and this is something that I've been talking about yesterday, that if somebody is grieving and if somebody is complaining about something, it is totally fine to outwardly do so as well and be complaining about something with this person. But it shouldn't be your inward. It shouldn't be what you really think and what you really do, because there's no point in that. There's no why. Why would you be doing this? The best warriors know that the most difficult wars are not won by the force but by strategy, and the best strategies are always the ones that make in some way use of deception. That is why, if your goal is to reform people in order to get them out of the paradigms imposed by the current society, it is crucial that you learn to act strategically. It is crucial that you learn to mask your appearance. Keep in mind, because of the hostile ancestral environment in which we evolved, we human beings have developed a natural repulsion towards anything we instinctively perceive as foreign. When it comes to people, this survival mechanism has led us to get into the habit of labeling them in us, or as us, those in our group, and them, those outside our group. What does this all mean? Well, simple. It means that the same message will be welcomed and digested in a different way depending on whether the person who communicates it is perceived as one of us and or one of them. Translated into practical terms, today in the 21st century, your conversational message has a much better chance of being welcomed by people if you communicate it while wearing a Nike t-shirt rather than a monk's tunic. By Seneca, Letters from Stoic 5. The very name of philosophy, however modest the manner in which it is pursued, is unpopular enough as it is. Imagine what the reaction would be if we started disassociating ourselves from the conventions of society. Inwardly, everything should be different, but our outward face should conform with the crowd. Our clothes should not be gaudy, yet they should not be dowdy either. We should not keep silver plate with inlays of solid gold, but at the same time, we should not imagine that doing without gold and silver is proof that we are leading the simple life. Let our aim be a way of life not diametrically opposed to, but better than that of the mob. Otherwise, we shall repel and alienate the very people whose reform we desire. We shall make them, moreover, reluctant to imitate us in anything we fear they may have to imitate us in everything. And with that being said, I think that I'm going to end the episode. Quite a few great quotes. To be honest, I enjoyed them. I liked them. I think that they were worth going through and worth keeping in mind. And that is all that I want to achieve. A bit of a better day, a bit of a better life for you out there. And I do hope that I'm kind of somehow achieving that by doing the work that I do. And gonna see you the next time. Bye bye.